everyone, welcome to 90 Day Fiancé.
You're welcome. This is our session about us being engaged for 90 days. So we are happy you could make it. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. So let's get into it.
When we decided we were going to get married and we only had 90 days, one of the biggest struggles that we had to deal with was...
What was it?
You don't remember?
No.
Finding a venue.
Oh yes, finding a venue. Actually, I don't know why did I forget that? But yeah, that's one of the biggest thing that we had to deal with. I think the reason why it didn't really stick in my mind that it was a hassle is because we initially just wanted to do a courthouse marriage, like go to the courthouse and then come have lunch. So this came up later. Like I spoke about in my previous, was a challenge because we had such little time on our plate to work with. We did not have finances really sorted out because we wanted to do something small, and then here we were trying to figure out to do a big wedding with more than how many people?
Well, it was way more than 50 people.
Way more than 50 people. It was almost 70, if not 70 people.
Yeah, which is, I mean, again, that's quite small, but to try to put something together within 90 days and make it where it looks or feels as if we had it together when we didn't, that was a challenge. I'll start with mine because I knew I wasn't going to have any groomsmen, right?
Yeah,
I was only going to have my son as my best man because time was limited. One of the challenges that him and I had were what we were going to wear and
who you're going to invite, because I think we went back and forth on the guest list a lot. We went back and forth on my end because I don't have my biological family here again. I have the friends and Ugandan community that I've met, but we went back and forth on that, and he had a challenge with that. We had the wedding, like I mentioned in my previous video, we had the wedding at my father-in-law's house in the backyard. So we had to clean it up and kind of like fix it up, for it to look much more presentable and be able to accommodate 50 plus people, because there was a lot of stuff we had to throw away or put away. So I think that's something that really stressed my husband.
yeah, so kind of giving you a background story about what had happened. We were dating and we decided that we were going to get married, but what had happened was my sister and my mom both had passed away just within months before we actually made the decision to get married. So a lot of the construction that was going on in the backyard was put on hold because of the untimely death of my sister and my mom.
Right.
So a lot of that was put on hold. And so once we decided we were going to get married in the backyard, then it was just like crunch time. We had to figure out things, and renovating a backyard as well as preparing for a wedding, planning a wedding, and it oh my gosh.
And all of that happening in 90 days. You guys, I mean, if I tell you that I'm right now I could be a wedding planner, is because we pulled off our wedding in 90 days. It was a beautiful wedding. I'll share some pictures up here. You'll see some pictures, roll about. But it was a beautiful wedding, and we pulled it off. Did you have any other challenges?
Some friends that we just say quote unquote friends who prior to our marriage, prior to our wedding, who had said, "Hey, am I invited?" And we had to keep it down to a limit of how many people, because of just the space, the size of the backyard. And then we had actually got married in our church, but that size, the space was limited as well. And then the reception, which was in the backyard, it's not a huge backyard, but we pulled it off. So there were a lot of people that I got a lot of
to kind of like put off and not invite, or not even tell them about, oh, I'm getting married. So it was on short notice. So for me, my challenges, I had challenges with my wedding dress, like my husband has mentioned, but I had more challenges than that. I'll mention the ones I had. First of all, the fact that I did not have my mom here, or my aunties, my cousins, my biological relatives. That was so hard.
Working 2 jobs.
I was working day and night. I mean, I was working 80 hours a week, because I was working day, 8 hours in the day, 8 hours in the night. And in addition to that, I was planning my wedding in 3 months, which is 90 days. So it was so crazy. After we had decided to go to the church, because we had to scratch the courthouse and then do like a real wedding, like I mentioned again, I had to put on a dress. So I had to look for a dress, something that was not expensive, because I only had 90 days. And for a wedding dress, as we all might know, people take like a year and order their dress like in a year's time, or I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years, and it's custom made, and they keep paying on it until they finally pay it off. But I had 90 days to work with, 90 days to find something presentable. So I went downtown LA and with my best friend, and we were looking for any white dress that was long and could seem like it could pull off with the wedding. And we found this dress that I liked. I tried it on, I bought it, and then I took a video of myself in that dress, and I shared it with a very close person that I know here in the Ugandan community. And they said, no, you cannot just put on a regular dress. You need like a wedding dress with a tail on it. This is your first wedding. You've never been married before. So, I mean, like, it has to be memorable. And in that moment, it just hit me. It hit me because now I had less than 90 days. I had to look for a real dress, a real wedding dress with a train and a veil and everything that goes with it. And the finances, I was working 2 jobs. But with my best friend's help, we looked around and found something. It was quite expensive because, it was last minute. But it was a beautiful dress. I loved it. And again,
it was beautiful.
It was a beautiful dress, yeah?
Yes, it was.
If my husband says that, then the rest is background noise. But yeah, so that's one of the challenges I had.
Yeah, I remember you called me. I was driving home from work. I was on the freeway close to where you were. You were looking for the undergarment thing,
right? Mm-hmm.
And you were crying because the one that you were going to try to get for cheaper from Amazon was going to come after the wedding.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Ladies, if you're going to get married, or I don't know, anyone that is getting married,
have a best friend to help you.
Exactly. Have a best friend.
Planning, somebody.
And get a wedding planner. And do not do it the 90-day fiancé thing that we did. It was so stressful.
Don't try to do it on your own.
Yes. Because my husband came and helped me get the garment. I was so stressed. Also, that makes me, kind of bring back, I had a changing dress after the white dress from church, like an evening wear dress or ball dress. I had ordered one that was coming in from China, but I had 3 weeks, either 3 weeks or a month, maybe a little more than a month to the wedding when I ordered this dress. And I was constantly not on the phone, on the app, because they don't have a phone. The only way you could chat with them is through the app. And I would, I constantly asked them to please expedite and make the dress, ASAP. I'm willing to pay any amount of money. And they said, we are sorry, the factory, this is how it works, and your dress is going to get there about 3 days after your wedding. And I had already paid the money too. So that was another thing. Now I had to cancel the order and then run around the whole of LA trying to look for a changing dress and then have it altered. Wow. So that, and then the makeup and the hair. My hair, the person that did my hair refused to come up here because we live about an hour away from LA, like the main town of LA. How would you say that, babe?
San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, like San Fernando Valley. So we kind of live like an hour or 45 minutes away, and that's where the salon, guy is. That's where his business is. And I asked him to come here the day of my wedding so that he does my hair. I'll pay him extra money. I'll make sure he's comfortable. He said he's not going to do that. He had to do my hair a day before my wedding. So he did my hair, and then I drove up here, and the next day was my wedding. So I literally didn't have to sleep. Like that's what it really meant. Otherwise, if I slept and messed it up, then I would be doomed. But look at how my hair turned out over here. It turned out really beautiful, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked amazing.
Thank
You were
baby.
the most beautiful bride I'd ever seen.
Aww.
My bride. Do you want to tell them about the decor, the decor and the food?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness. So we got someone that she came out with her husband. They have a business where they do decor, and also they supposedly catering.
Do weddings
and birthday parties.
Big parties, and
so they could cater for you and decorate for you as well. And I was like, you know what? Why not? They could do both so that we don't have to look for other vendors to do the things separately. She comes here with her husband. They look around in the backyard.
They measure.
They're like, oh yeah, this looks beautiful. We're gonna do this. We'll do this. This is what we will need.
They sounded really confident that they were gonna take care of everything.
They sounded really confident, like they knew what they were going to do, and that gave us confidence. So we were willing to pay whatever amount of money they asked for, because we had a very little amount of time, but they sounded confident as well. They gave us the price, which was really high.
Very high.
Very high, a very high price,
and we
to
paid
do both. And we gave them the money, and then the day of, she did not get here until after I left. I remember I left to go to church to get ready, because the church gave me a room to get ready before we go into, to do the marriage ceremony. I left around 8, and she wasn't
supposed to be here at 7.
Yeah, she was supposed to be here at 7 to start doing the decor in the backyard and everything, and she hadn't got here yet. So she got here, I think, about 9:30, because I had my friends over that were helping out with everything.
They stayed behind. They didn't even go to the.
They missed out on my wedding ceremony because of that, because they were waiting for the decor person to come, and so that they can hand over some stuff and help her around before they leave. And so that's one thing. Then second, they did not bring the food until after people were literally picking up their bags and leaving.
Yeah, they were actually supposed to start cooking at 2 p.m.
Yeah, so that we eat at 4
and serve at 4. They were going to cook at 2 and serve at 4. They got here about 6:30 in the evening, and if it wasn't for her side of her family, the Ugandan community, bringing food, then all of our guests would have gone hungry.
Exactly.
And I remember when we came in that backyard, when we walked in after the wedding, after taking pictures, the backyard was completely packed. Mind you, people had been waiting all day to eat, because the time of the wedding, they probably had only eaten breakfast.
Right. By 4 p.m., we had hoped that they're eating. They're like, we're eating, and then we get there and cut the cake and everything. the catering person did not show up at 4. They did not. They showed up at 6, past 6 actually. And that's after they, all our wedding guests had already eaten the Ugandan food.
And
so
we spent a lot of money on that food.
We spent a lot of money on that food, a lot of money.
She actually took advantage. She charged us just an enormous amount. The cost was just unbelievable.
Right.
Other people we talked to, they were like, why did you pay so much?
I know. Yeah.
They couldn't understand.
They couldn't understand why we did not have enough information to scout out, for people that could do a better job than that. But I mean, that all ties down to the fact that we had 90 days and we were trying to figure things out, you know? So, I mean, so those are some of the challenges. Is there anything else you could think of?
Yeah, there was another challenge that we came across because we have the church that we go to. The pastor, any of the pastors there would not marry a couple until they had gone through the process of marriage counseling. And the marriage counseling, by what we were told, was 8 weeks or 4 weeks.
It was 8.
8 weeks. They made an exception, and we did 3 weeks.
Yeah, we did 3 weeks.
3 weeks of marriage counseling.
So we had to do 3 weeks of marriage counseling, which was an exception again, but we had to cover so much in 3 weeks.
And it came down to like the last week.
Exactly. Like a day before the wedding, we were still doing marriage counseling. So, oh gosh, I had even forgotten that part of the story.
Oh, yeah, I didn't forget.
And the other thing about that is that I had to leave my 2 jobs and drive up here to do marriage counseling, and drive back down to meet my night job. And the drive, again, I said, is an hour. So work at 5 p.m. with my day job, drive up to make it here by 6, have the 1 hour of counseling, drive back down to make sure that I'm at work at 10 p.m. for the night job.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, that was a really stressful time, babe.
It was. There were a lot of times that you would call me crying.
Yeah.
Out of frustration, and things just weren't going right. And
yeah. Oh my goodness. And
I
was
you feel
overwhelmed.
helpless.
Yeah. I was really overwhelmed. But I mean, I am so grateful for you. And my husband really encouraged me. He would step in and do things for me and ask me how he could help me, to make things a little easy. There's times he would either buy or order food online and have it delivered at my job, or at home or whatever, just to make things a little easy, or even drive by to come and help me pay for something in case I didn't have it in my budget. So it was all of that, but we're grateful to God that we were here and we have something to share with you.
The last thing that I remember that we ran into on the day of the marriage was our pastor signing our marriage license, and he put the wrong month in. We got married October 16th, 2021, and he put down December 16th, 2021, which hadn't even happened yet. So when I sent the document out, the marriage license out, it was in November that I sent it out. They were like, no, it's
not even December yet.
Yeah, it's not valid. This is impossible. You have the wrong date. And we didn't know.
Yeah.
Did they? They never sent it back to us.
Yeah, they did send it back.
We had to call the registrar, the county registrar, whatever that is, to find out what happened with the marriage license.
No, babe. They sent it back, and they had put an arrow on it, and then after we had corrected it and had our pastor resign it, we sent it in, and then it got lost. So then that's when we called, and they said, we're sorry, we did not receive your document. So we had to do it again. So it it's been a journey, honey.
Yeah, it's been a journey. So, a word of advice: don't try to do your wedding all by yourself. Find some people you can rely on, some dependable people, people you trust. Trust with their word, trust with your money. Yeah, that, oh my gosh.
I want to give a big shout out to my Ugandan community.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They stood with us financially, physically, in prayer, in everything that they could do. I mean, that's how we are, where we come from. So it kind of comes off natural. But in the US, for someone to do that, to make time to even be there for you like that, it's a blessing. So
yeah, let us know if you've had a 90-day fiance type of wedding, or any if you've been married and you've had some challenges. Share those challenges with us. Share them in the comments so other people could be aware of what things could go wrong, or what are some of the challenges. I think this is a great educational video for those who are trying to get married as soon as possible. Yeah. We were gonna keep it very simple.
I know, stick to the simplicity. I'm just like echoing this out.
Unless you
keep it simple. If you say you're gonna do it simple, stick to that. Unless something really urgent comes up, but
unless you have some really great people that have all the time in the world and have all the right connections to the right people, because I think really that's what it's about, from catering to the music to the decor.
Yeah.
I mean, photography, video,
man. Yeah.
And then her family was online, and what time was it? Like
it was
5
like
in the morning,
4
4 in the morning.
Between 3 to like 6 a.m. They were online at home back in Uganda watching our wedding, and they did not go to sleep. That's my parents, my aunties, my cousins, my grandparents. Everyone was up trying to be present. So it was really emotional. It was an emotional time.
Yeah.
But it turned out so beautiful.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
But thank you for marrying me.
Oh, honey. So let us know what you think. Thank you so much for watching our video. Thank you for liking again and sharing. Please continue sharing. Subscribe on our channel down below. Let us know what you think about our content and the conversations we're holding. If there is anything of interest that you think you would like us to talk about, please let us know. Let's continue the conversation in the chat.
Yeah. Let's keep learning.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.